So Erdös was always something of an eccentric figure, even among mathematicians. Did you have a feeling that you understood how his mind worked?
People often have the impression that all he cared about was mathematics, but actually cared about people, cared about politics, cared about a lot of things. Music, as he called noise, and he had his own language. So for example, men were slaves, and women were bosses, and children were epsilons. In mathematics, epsilon also means a small quantity. So there was once a dinner with someone who knew his language and asked Paul, well, what would you like to eat? Well, I'll just have an epsilon. She said, you cannibal, because she was using the other. Yes. Paul, he had visions, I think, that only he saw. Often he'd put out a problem. It looks, doable, but you'd have to do something. You have to stand on your tiptoes to be able to do it. And once you could do that, you say, well, now you can do that. Maybe you can do this next thing. But I think he had in the back of his mind a bigger view of where things are going. Because so many of his kind of harmless-looking problems, even somebody likes to think he worked on areas, just goofy problems, you see, but then they grew into something much larger. It's been almost 20 years since he died. And he loved to collaborate. He was the ultimate collaborator. He has, 400 collaborators and 1,500 papers, and he's working simultaneously. The thing he liked a lot, he valued a lot, were his mathematical diaries. And he would keep a pretty careful record every day what he was thinking about. And right now they're still in Hungary, and they're not kind of available, which is kind of a shame. But he would often, when he's visiting someplace, he would come up to the person he hasn't seen for, say, 2 years and say, that graph problem that we looked at, well, I think if you do this. Well, somebody said, what an amazing memory. The night before he was reading the diary to see what he talked about 2 years ago.